So guys, I wanted to share, just coming off the back of sharing my story, I kind of wanted to pose a loose question to you to kind of end my evening with you guys. But it's this. You guys got to hear, when I was 15, really what struck my heart. But I want to ask you guys, who do you trust in? Now, if you were brought up in a Christian home, the correct answer is, I trust in God. But actually, is that really true? Is that really what you're doing? And maybe you don't know God at all, and you're like, actually, I trust in me. I'm the best person in control of my destiny. I am the one who understands my future and my path. I am the one who I need to trust in. I kind of wanted to ask that because I found varying degrees of success on those two things. I found that sometimes trusting God is challenging, and he will sometimes ask you to do things that make zero or less sense to you, like moving across the country or the world. I also know that sometimes trusting ourselves is a great plan, riddled with problems, because I don't know what's happening tomorrow. I don't know what's going to go on next week. I don't know what's really going on right now. I don't know what's going on in your life, and I barely know what's going on in my life. So where we place our trust is very interesting, because we often feel like we are the best people to trust with our lives. Well, it's my life. I should do what I want with it. I don't know. That tends not to be a great plan. An example would be my 9-year-old son. It's his life, and he knows what to do with it. When left to his own devices, he ate all of his birthday candy in 1/2 hour. Mind you, the amount of candy you have here tonight might roughly come to the same as his. So he thought, and I let him, so I don't know what that says about me as a father. But he was like, Dad, it's my candy. It's my choice. I was like, you're only going to do this once, man. Knock yourself out. Literally spent the whole night going, oh! And I was like, dude, you have my heart, but I can't take this away from you. Oftentimes, I feel like that when God gives me an opportunity to either trust him or trust me. I kind of look at the option and go, well, I'm pretty clever. At least I think so. I think I'll trust me, and I'll leave you to do what you do. But then I find moments where I'm completely at the end of my rope. I'm completely past my understanding. I am well deep into fake it or make it territory, and I am lost. So I found this opportunity happens, unfortunately, rather regularly. But maybe you guys are familiar with it when it comes to, I don't know, your future, the jobs you need to hold, the spouse you might like to find, the classes you have to take, or the exams you need to study for. There's a lot of times where things are out of your control. The question is, who do you trust then to know that it's going to be all right? Do you trust yourself? Do you trust no one? Now, I want to go out and say, I'm the pastor. I want to say you can trust God here. But I want to give you at least an example of somewhere found in the Bible. So, if you want to, in this book, you can turn to page 24. I highly recommend it, by the way. It's worth doing. So why don't you grab it and turn to page 24, also known as John 4:43. I'm going to read you a little story. Where are we? We're going to start actually at 46. Once more, he visited Cana of Galilee. By the way, he is Jesus. This guy, yeah. You guys don't know who Jesus is. We will talk afterwards. You fund me. I'll explain. But Jesus, once more, he visited Cana in Galilee, where he had turned water into wine. And there was a certain royal official whose son lay ill in Capernaum, which was a while away, probably about 3 days' journey. When the man heard that Jesus had arrived in Galilee from Judea, he went to him and begged him to come and heal his son who was close to death. Unless you people see signs and wonders, Jesus said to him, you will never believe. The royal officer said, Sir, come down before my child dies. Go, Jesus replied, your son will live. The man took Jesus at his word and departed. While he was still on the way, his servant met him with the news that his boy was living. And when he inquired as to the time when his son got better, they said to him, yesterday, at 1 p.m, his fever left him. Then the father realized that this was the same exact time which Jesus had said to him, your son will live. So he and his whole household believed. It's a good story. And I like it for a couple of reasons. One, it wouldn't have happened to me. And what I mean by this is, if my son was lying sick and I traveled 3 days away from him to get a healing, to get someone to fix him, I probably wouldn't have had the wherewithal to trust in just, he'll be better. But sometimes that's all we get. Sometimes our trust needs to be placed in the person, not in the experience. That official's experience with Jesus was brief. But he would have heard that Jesus was a healer. He would have heard all the things he had done. He would have heard that he turned water into wine. He would have heard about his teaching. He would have heard that actually this might be the promised one to fix our brokenness. So when he came, he didn't just trust the experience he had with Jesus. He trusted the person. And that's when he left. Look, your experience with God will be varied. It will. It's going to be different for every person in here. Some of you might experience God in a way that is physically manifested. I don't know, you shake and flop about. Some of you might experience God in a peace that settles within you when you pray. Some of you might experience God in a way that you don't understand and can't articulate. Some of you might experience God in ways that he showed to me. Some of you might have yet to experience God. But everyone's experience with God is different, but the character of God is always the same. So when we trust in the character of God, when we trust in the person of who Jesus is, you'll find opportunities like mine come up, where suddenly I'm going, look, on paper, my finances make 0 sense as I see it. Unless I get a miracle that steps in and rewrites everything, my wife leaving her job is never going to pay our bills. God, you need to do something crazy, and I don't have the experience that I can trust you've never done this before. But I trust you as a person. And then he does something crazy, like moves you to the other side of the world. Something you never imagined. But I couldn't do that on my own. I couldn't have moved myself here no matter how hard I tried. But when I trusted in God, his person, that rewrites everything. So, for you guys, who do you trust? One of the amazing things I love is exploring more about God's character. One of the greatest ways to do that, mind you, is actually through this cool thing called the Alpha course. Now, Alpha is really useful because Alpha goes step by step into what is this life for? Who is Jesus? If you're going, hey, I don't know if I trust God, but I definitely understand the fact that trusting myself seems a little bit foolish, then can I recommend you grab one of these cards? Check out Alpha. And I think they're going to play a short video that explains a little bit more about it. But thank you guys.